Bonjour, hi. Welcome back to another coffee talk. For those of you who are not familiar with coffee talks, it's a series I have on this channel where every Friday I sit down with a cup of coffee. I sip on it while I talk about different topics that have been on my mind for the past week. And this week is no exception. As I'm recording this, I was actually supposed to be on a date. The person texted me last minute saying that they couldn't make it because something came up. And my initial reaction or my initial thought was that I must have done something wrong or I must have said something wrong. But it's not likely because we didn't have a very big conversation leading up to that date. And even if that was the case, so be it. And that's actually what we're talking about today. Today, we are talking about detachment, and more specifically, detaching yourself from the outcome. I myself struggle a lot with detaching myself from the outcome, detaching myself from what people think of me, and detaching myself from all the opinions that people might have on me. But more and more, I've been trying to actively detach myself from those elements and to allow myself to take a moment and take a step back whenever I feel this urge or this feeling in me rising up of disappointment, of overthinking, or of questioning myself. I now allow myself to rethink it and to honestly just, for lack of a better word, detaching myself from it. And don't get me wrong, being detached from the outcome and being detached from what people think of you or for detached from their actions or their opinions or their thoughts and sayings does not make you numb. It's not numbing yourself. It's not becoming neutral to whatever happens. It's just not making it a bigger deal than what it is, and it's accepting whatever was, whatever is, and whatever will be. And that's essentially it. Because believe me, I have been the one reminiscing all these thoughts and overthinking everything and re-questioning everything and thinking I would do something wrong or said something wrong, and it being the reason why people wouldn't talk to me or wouldn't want to see me, when in reality, it's probably all about them. And again, as I said, even if it's something I said or something I did, it's in the past. What is done, and I can't go back. I can only move forward from there. And that's something I've always had some difficulty to do, because I've mentioned this in many previous coffee talks before, but I'm a nostalgic person. I like lingering on the memories and reminiscing it all in my head. And that's just not serving me anymore. It's honestly not serving me at all. And so I'm learning slowly but surely to detach myself. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been hard. It's been hard because I'm a pretty expressive and emotional person. I tend to react very boldly in general when I'm happy, when I'm sad, when I'm surprised, when I'm angry, when I'm frustrated, when I'm disappointed. All of these emotions tend to be very out there, and it's really hard for me to hide these emotions, but sometimes I have to hide them in order to recollect myself and just think everything through and to give myself the opportunity to detach myself from it all. And if we're talking about detaching yourself from the outcome more specifically, honestly, it is so freeing, because personally, I tend to have a lot of expectations for what I do in life, for all of the goals I want to achieve, for the relationships I'm in, for the friendships I'm in, with my family, with my career, with content creation. I envision it, but it puts me in this place where I have expectations, where I'm very hopeful, but I also am too precise about how I want things to go. And so I'm expecting a certain outcome. And when that outcome is not realistic and when that outcome is not what actually happens, I often find myself being disappointed. But I'm the one who created it in the first place. I'm the one who created these expectations for myself. And so I'm the one who created the disappointment to start with, which, when you think about it, is ridiculous. And so detaching yourself from the outcome, you guessed it, puts you in a better position to just enjoy whatever happens. And I'm one to believe that everything happens for a reason. And sometimes it can be hard to really believe in it, because when something bad happens or when something disappointing happens, it's hard to remind yourself that everything happens for a reason, and it sounds pretty cheesy, and that's not necessarily what you'd want to hear, but I still do believe in it. And so, again, detaching yourself from the outcome is just allowing you to accept whatever happens and to welcome whatever happens. Because in the end, you cannot control the outcome. You can only control the way you go through things and the way that you live things in the moment and in the present. And if you've watched my video about how to make 2024 your year, you've heard me talk about romanticizing your life. And that's just as important. And don't get me wrong, romanticizing your life and detaching yourself from the outcome can cohabit. They can be true together. Because often people confuse romanticizing their life with creating a fantasy. That's not it. Romanticizing your life is taking the little moments of your life for what they are and just embracing them and enjoying them to the fullest. It's not creating scenarios, and it's not about creating a fantasy and living in a bubble, but it's being mindful and it's being present and it's appreciating things as they are. And so is detaching yourself from the outcome. And it makes me think of movies. You know how when you watch a movie, you're always like anticipating what's going to happen next and you're trying to predict what the end will be. And personally, my favorite movies are the ones where there's a plot twist, where there's something that I didn't imagine could happen, but it happened. And this is what life is. It's full of surprises. It's full of plot twists. And this is what you should be enjoying. There's no fun in predicting how a movie's going to go. The same way there's no fun in predicting how every single thing in your life is going to go. And that's the beauty of it. And again, for every single thing I say in these coffee talks, it's easier said than done. But you know that already, don't you? So, if I could sum it all up, I'd say that detaching yourself from the outcome and just detaching yourself from whatever opinion people have of you is the ultimate way to be present and to enjoy all those little moments of your life for what they are and not for what your life was or what it could be, but what it is. And on that note, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I truly, truly, truly mean it. I know I say this every single time, but it's true. I do mean it. Hopefully, I have made a little difference in your day today. If you would like to make a difference in mine, you know what to do. I'm going to wish you une bonne journée.